If you want to get more views on YouTube, having a strong title is critical. So in this video, we're going to be sharing 7 power tips for creating stronger titles that'll get you more views, subscribers, plus our 2 favorite software tools for coming up with super powerful titles. But hey, if you're new here, this is Video Influencers. My name is Sean Cannell, and I'm here with Benji Travis. Benji, what is Video Influencers all about?
What's going on? On this channel, we help you build your influence, income, and impact with online videos. We have weekly tips videos as well as interviews with some of the most successful influencers on this platform. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Sean and I, we've been supporting other YouTubers, content creators, business people for many, many years, and we're both content creators ourselves. So we just love YouTube. It is a powerful platform, and this is what we do. So we're excited to get into today's topic and help you guys get more views ultimately, and how titles are so important for that.
Yes, and today's topic comes from Sanjeet, and he asked how to title your videos so they start ranking. And thanks so much for sending that question in on Instagram. We're going to be doing future videos about your questions, but let's kick it off with tip number 1. Make sure the title is relevant to the content, aka don't clickbait. Benji.
The days of clickbait are gone. When YouTube first started, it was a big thing, like have a crazy thumbnail and image and, your title's kind of like really catching people. But then you dive into the video and it's just like a talking head, somebody just like ranting about something, maybe not even relevant to the title at all. So it's so important that your title is aligned with exactly what's in the video. Because this is the thing, if you don't have that alignment and people click on your videos because the title is compelling or they think they're going to see something and then they don't see it and then they click out of it, YouTube's algorithm is going to actually hurt your video and potentially hurt your channel. So the content being exactly what people expect is so important. And if you don't do that, it's going to really hurt your ability to get views. So simply put, make sure whatever your title is relevant to the content people not only expect, but what they actually get. And that is going to be very good for you to get views on your videos.
Yeah, and when it comes to not clickbaiting, sometimes people can misunderstand that because they think somebody like, oh, that seemed like clickbait there. It was too sensational or something. And we think of maybe someone like Mr. Beast, who's done these crazy things like giving thousands of dollars away or these different things. But the crazy thing, if you study out and listen to interviews with him, he actually thinks of crazy thumbnails, crazy titles, and then makes the actual content. So sensational titles are great. People will want to click on them. Just make sure they are honest. Which brings us to tip number 2, and that is the 1-2 punch. Titles and thumbnails should work together. And here's what we mean. On this video, as we were preparing it, we have a really long title, and then we wanted the thumbnail, though, to be much cleaner. One of the biggest mistakes we see people make is coming up with maybe a good title, but restating all of the text in the title in the thumbnail. Remember, they work together. They don't need to repeat each other. They actually should be like a combo. So what we wanted to do is have a strong and clear title on this video, even a promise of how many tips you're going to learn, but then also create a thumbnail that's much simpler and cleaner. So we just came up with this 3 words to summarize it: viral title tips. Another way to think about this is Benji and Judy's vlog, where they've got, a longer title, I'm in China for the first time ever, but you don't have to restate that, like we're in China, and then really good use of the flag and the pointing of the face and eyes, or eating to lemon with no reaction, but just eating lemon, question, exclamation, kind of just a hook, the emojis. And so think about the combination of both the title and the thumbnail. Peter McKinnon is doing here with no text, and you don't always need to use text. In fact, really good photography like this is great without it. And you have a nice title, why every photographer needs this, but then you've just got that, okay, it needs what? Like what's happening in the photo, or tips for shooting sunset, and clearly it's a sunset kind of vibe, the color. And so think about the 1-2 punch of titles and thumbnails together. And hey, if you get value, can you smash the like button on this video? And it's great to see Kay, Fact Pack, Tony B, Mag, thanks for being here. Benji, anything to add, or are you ready for tip number 3?
The thing I want to add here is, remember, we are visual people. So that image is going to enhance what's in that title. And we've actually seen this actually potentially kill videos because they do all this work to work on the content. They've got a great title, and then they don't actually spend that extra time to make the image in the thumbnail very relevant. And so I'd say go as far as like literally spend as much time as you do like editing sometimes on that thumbnail, because literally it's the thing that's going to set your video apart from other ones. So yeah, I'm good, and I'm ready to dive into the third tip, which is this. YouTube is a utility platform. What I mean is YouTube is a search engine, right? People are using YouTube to search for things. So remember that. Ask yourself this. The last time you went on YouTube, how did you find content? Obviously, YouTube is suggesting things, but you're typing things in. So you have the ability to title your videos in a way where your video can be evergreen. It can live on for many, many years. A great example of this is my channel, Benjamin TV, which is a food channel. I've got an example of it here. And literally, when I create my recipes, my titles are self-explanatory. They are relevant to what it is that you're going to expect, and it's very utility. People are searching for things. And a quick tip here is you can quickly like research a title. So I'm going to make a taco recipe. So maybe it's going to be like, let's see, chicken taco recipe. Well, I literally type this in here to actually get what it is that people are typing in, so that I could potentially get ideas not only for my titles but potential future videos. So do your research, because it's really important to be aligned with what people are actually putting into YouTube. And the more you do that, the more you're gonna be able to create content and create titles that are relevant to people's searches. So remember, at the end of the day, YouTube is simply a utility for other people to find things. So ask yourself this: what are the search terms? What are the words and phrases, more importantly, that represent your content that people are actually searching for? Because at the end of the day, that is what's going to get you guys those evergreen views when it comes to people who use YouTube as a search engine.
So good. And the next tip ties into that one, and it's use emotion. Use emotion. And so you, of course, want to think about the utility, practicality of doing some keyword research. How can you title your video so people know what to expect? But then if you can add on a layer of emotion, it always gets more powerful. So it could be how to get views on YouTube, for example, versus how to get massive views, or how to get views on YouTube if you're feeling stuck, which is an emotion, right? And maybe you can relate to feeling stuck. And so then there's ways to weave in maybe an extra word or two to add emotion to your videos. But Benji, how do you do this?
I actually think about newspapers and magazines. Literally for decades, their job was, as you're walking on the street and you see a newspaper stand, or maybe you're standing at a supermarket about to buy groceries, that headline, that phrase that's on that cover needs to get your attention. And one of the ways they do that, the most useful way, is through emotion, evoking some kind of drama. You're like, oh, I wonder what's going on. It's like, oh, that is very sad, or that's really exciting, or man, I want to know about that gossip. Tell me about these gossip magazines that you see like at the store, like drugstores. They get your attention. So ask yourself, what kind of emotion can you invoke into people through the title you use? In our vlogs, we do that all the time. Where like if there's an emotion in the vlog itself, and we can create a title that relates to it, those tend to get a lot of views because people are emotional people. So something drama, like recently there was that drama with James Charles. We actually went live and talked about this, and Tati, she put out a video and it said "bye sister." For that community, that phrase "by sister" is really emotional. It's got some drama attached to it. So people, I believe, clicked on it because that title was so dramatic. So ask yourself, if you have content, right, that it could be utility, like my food video, but you could create a title that makes people like go, "Oh, I wonder what's going on." Or it's like, "Well, I can't believe that's the title. I want to see, what's in the video." Utilize this strategy because it's very useful for getting a lot of views and getting YouTube to suggest your videos.
Boom, influencers. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks, Auto Repair Tips, for the super chat. And if you're getting value out of this video so far, we've got 3 more tips to share. Smash the like button. A couple quick rapid fire questions. Is there a length of title that is effective for search? And typically, you don't want to go too long. vidIQ, which we recommend, and we'll link to vidIQ in the description if you don't have it, one of our favorite tools. It recommends right around 60 characters, and that just is where the preview cuts off. But at the end of the day, you kind of want to experiment. Your title should be as long as it needs to be, but as short as possible, meaning what do you need to communicate? What do you need to include in there? But how can you keep it lean and mean? And if it's punchy and short, then it could really stand out. And then does using the same title as someone else lessen your search? No, they might notice or something. Sometimes people joke about it. I think MKBHG mentioned that he's like, I'm stealing this title from Austin. I asked his permission, and not that you would need to do that, but it's not going to affect you, but you just might want to consider not copying people's titles directly. But hey, we're on tip number 5, and that is create an open loop. Really good YouTube titles create an open loop. And so we mentioned this one from Peter McKinnon, why every photographer needs a ... Like, needs a what, man? I need to know. Like, what's the open loop? Like, what? I mean, and so what you want to do is kind of make a magnetic title, and then the thumbnail complements it. I kind of recognize this lens, but is it what I think it is? I don't know. I need to click through. And if you're a photographer, that leaps off the page. So think about, speak to your target audience. Like, speak to, my mom's not going to click on this, but like photographers are like, dude, what is that lens? Like, that's an open loop. As Benji was talking about their vlog, finally letting go of what? I remember I saw this in my feed because I love Benji and Judy's vlog. And I was like, I got to click through on this. Now I learned that when it's time to purge your closet, you run out of hangers, but and that wasn't, keep in mind, that's not clickbait, but it's a really good open loop. Like, what does she mean she's letting go of? Is it a family member? Like, what is it? But it just pulled me in, and then I can stay around for the rest of the video. Another great one, Proud Mommy, just really simple, right? Text there, and you kind of get what it is, but what the girls do, like what's on the other side of this? And this is a vlog with 1 million views. I was looking up some of the most powerful ones. It's an open loop that's been created there on my tech channel. Best camera for indie filmmakers 2019. Here is one little tweak you could do to create an open loop. Add a question mark. So instead of saying this video is about the best camera and you're like, all right, you still might wonder what it is. The question mark is, well, it could be about 5 cameras. And then even in the thumbnail, I was putting things that videographers would be looking for. Oh, it's got 4K raw video. What is it? What's happening in that picture? What is all that tech? Like, it looks weird. Is that the Terminator? Like, what's happening there? And so think about how you could create curiosity, create an open loop. Maddie did this one, cinema versus DSLR. Which should you buy? I know I'm torn, but I don't know which one I should get. Like, and then there's like magnetic plus a really good thumbnail and the 1-2 punch to really suck you in. Like, dude, what's he holding? Oh my goodness. And that's what you want to do with your thumbnails. Benji.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I'll say though is make sure the content is relevant. So we talked about emotion. We talked about an open loop. The reason that vlog worked, the one where Judy was proud, the one where Judy's talking about like purging the closet, is because the content was still relevant. So the curiosity gets you to click on the video, right? That title attracts you. But once you get in there, you actually watch it. So at the end of the day, the title is only as good as the content. So not only does it need to be relevant, it needs to be quality content. And I'm excited to dive into tip number 6, Sean.
Yes. All right. Tip number 6, learn from titles that are working. Learn from titles that are working. So what you could do is say, who else is in my niche? And that's a power tip just on the side. Have you studied and researched your top 5 to 20? I don't want to call them competitors because, even for us, like we have competitors, but like we're friends. We believe in collaboration over competition. And so, but we like to look at maybe other people in our space. It could be like Roberto or Tim. And in your space, maybe you're in personal development. So you study the big channels, or you're in cooking. You might look at other channels and look at, well, what are the titles that are working best on their content? So here's an example. Jay Shetty, his vision is to make wisdom go viral, crushing it on Facebook first. And then recently, last couple years, has been crushing it on YouTube. So these videos, we're talking 4.6 million, 4.2 million. And we promised you at the beginning of this video, viral video titles. Well, what we actually can notice if we study out his videos, we go to his channel, go to sort by most popular, and you could do this for any, channel in your niche or similar topics. And actually not even in your same niche, because watch how cool this is. 9 out of his top 12 videos follow the same title formula. Before you waste time, watch this. If you're in a long distance relationship, watch this. If they left you, watch this. If you're confused who your real friends are, man, I got to watch that. You know what I mean? Like, watch this. You're like, what? If someone broke your heart, think about, that's emotion. That's an open loop. That's like, what are you going to say? Before you take someone for granted, watch this. And so that is something that he figured out. And actually, I was at a conference hearing Jay Shetty speak when he was talking about testing different titles and how he found one that was like a kind of a powerful title formula, but that you could plug and play anything into it. So you could do this on your channel as well. Like, watch this. Sarah Dietschy took this title. Before buying a new camera, Jay Shetty wouldn't even talk about that, but she plugged her niche into it. Watch this. Super, super powerful strategy for studying out different channels and looking for title ideas for your channel. But again, we encourage you not to, again, necessarily copy, but look for the framework of the title and then apply that to your content. Benji, thoughts?
Yeah, let's be honest. If you're creating content on YouTube, it probably means you're watching a lot of YouTube. So why not use that time where you're just watching videos casually, or you're getting some entertainment or maybe updates from like news channels to learn what is working, not just for competitors in your niche, but also for channels that are just getting lots of views. Every time I go to YouTube, I'm looking at the thumbnail, I'm looking at the title, and then I'm diving into the titles that are really compelling, especially the ones that attract my attention. And I'm not just watching it, I'm just seeing how relevant that content is to the title. And then I look at the views. I'm like, is this getting a lot of views? Why is it getting a lot of views? Ultimately, the three things are really important, right? Content is king, but then that thumbnail is that visual to attract you. And then that title is really what's going to hook you. So use that time where you're watching YouTube videos to do research, not just like casually watch and not like kind of like waste that opportunity to learn from other creators and learn what's working for them in their videos.
Yeah, so if you are loving this information, I've been seeing some great feedback. Jody, thanks for being here, Master Builder. Hit the like button and also tell us in the comments, what is the next video you're putting out? And do you know your title? And maybe you're getting some title ideas from this. So definitely tell us in the comments. But we're going to get to tip number 7 and those 2 software tools that will actually help you come up with powerful titles in just a second. But we actually have something really cool we want to share with you. And it's this. We actually just saw a picture of YouTube secrets translated into Korean. Super cool, Benji. Like, this is awesome, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. So you guys, these books are getting, this book is getting translated into multiple languages. But why we're so excited outside of that is it's out on audiobook. So make sure you guys go check it out on Audible. You can go to Amazon as well. And we're loving all the Amazon reviews and the feedback, especially for those people on social media using YouTube secrets.
Absolutely. And just as a reminder, if you've gotten any copies of YouTube Secrets at all, first of all, we want to thank you for the support. We're so thankful that you picked up a copy of the book. But if you got it on audio or physical, or you got the digital version, first let us know in the comments if you've read it or you picked up a copy. But if you haven't downloaded your free bonuses, make sure to get them. We've got a whole checklist with or step-by-step kind of thing to help you with clarity that you can print out a PDF. There's a free video. And so all of that's at tubesecretsbook.com. We'll put a link to that in the description. It's like $100 worth of training, advanced video, and a free action guide. And we just want to give that as a way of saying thank you and just of gratitude for supporting the book. So thank you so much. And Benji, tip number 7 is use tools. And we have 2 of them, starting with this emotional marketing value headline analyzer. Take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we talk about emotion being such a key factor in why people click into your videos and want to watch the videos. So there's some tools out there, and I want to give a shout out actually to my friend Daniel here, and he's from the Aspie World channel where they talk about autism. So a lot of his videos are very utility, but what Daniel understands is emotion is a big part of why people click through. So what he does is he uses this tool called the Emotional Marketing Value Headline Analyzer. And what I love about this is you can literally put your title idea. So like say something with self-help, like he might use like, are you getting depressed? And what this tool will tell you is it'll actually give you information about this title idea. So it says it's giving you an EMV score of 50%. It's telling you that it's going to lean towards empathetic, spiritual people. So again, when it comes to utilizing the power of motion in your titles, this tool and other tools, and Sean's actually going to be talking about one, is going to be really important for that research. Sean and I talk about, it's like, don't just record a video and then edit it and put it up. Before you even hit that record, do research on what people are actually searching for, what title ideas you can utilize and how it can align with your content. But it's the same with using tools like this. Make sure you're utilizing these websites that have a lot of data beyond what you can actually consume yourself to be able to leverage the information they're gathering to make the best title possible. So that's one of my favorite tools when it comes to creating an emotional headline or title for your video.
Yeah, so we'll make sure this is linked up in the description. But again, that's the Emotional Marketing Value Headline Analyzer. And one that I love to use is the Co-Schedule Headline Analyzer. And so let's check it out. Just today, we've got this title right here. Let me kind of just copy paste it. And so imagine if you might think about, best way to title videos on YouTube. And so it's going to be doing similar things, and it's just an algorithm. So never, always take it with a grain of salt. But what it's going to do is say, okay, you're missing emotional words. See, it's actually saying include emotional words in here. You do have best, which is a power word. So how can you strengthen the title? And they're saying, hey, this is generic. Maybe you can strengthen it up. So then eventually, even just this morning, doing this research, worked on this one, how to title your YouTube videos to get more views. Okay, really, 71. And basically your goal is to hit at least green, but if you can take it to another level, then then try to get as high of score as sponsors possible. So let's actually see like how to build subscribers from scratch. This was a video, an older one for us. But just what you could do, now these are ones we've already worked on, but you're looking for those powerful titles. That's another 71. And so oftentimes I will do title research on my channel, and sometimes I'll bounce it off my wife, or I've got a couple people on my team, and I like to punch in, we kind of brainstorm on titles, and I like to punch in like at least 4 to 8, and I'm trying to get that score up as high as possible because by the way, based on all of the other principles we've mentioned, because it's not just about, getting a high score. That's something that's like not true or whatever, right? And so best cheap microphones on YouTube, for example. Let me just hit this one last example. And so I'm thinking, how do I strengthen it? How do I make it stronger? And so if we come over here, best cheap microphones for YouTube, under $50. And again, I would go through the process of reworking it, changing titles, restructuring it, doing some research. I'm hitting a lot of 71s, but I think you get the idea. So anyways, use these tools in combination with these other tips to really stack the deck and strengthen your titles.
Yeah, I love that. You know, one thing I've learned from Sean is it's not enough to just make a title that's relevant. How do you make a title that is very niche to the audience you're trying to connect with, that you're trying to attract? When you're first starting off on YouTube, remember, like, you don't want to go wide. You want to go super deep, and you want to target a specific audience that you can really speak to. So when Sean's doing his titles, what I've noticed is he's not just trying to, hit a specific niche type of content. He's trying to think like, who's the creator that needs a specific type of help? And what I like about that whole thinking and that research process is going to actually help you not only create videos that are more relevant for that actual person, but it's also going to help you set yourself apart. And when you actually hit record, you can think about that person on the other side. So don't discount the title. There's just so much psychology behind the title and the research. And we talk a lot about content, obviously. And I'd say the second thing we talk about, Sean, yeah, I'm sure you can agree with this, is the thumbnail. But that title sometimes doesn't get enough attention and love because it seems so simple. It's just a bunch of letters and it's words put together in a phrase, right? And people maybe discount the amount of time you spend on it. But I'd say more and more, we're spending a lot of time in that research phase to determine the title, because the title determines the video and the title determines a thumbnail. And when those three things are working together, videos can go viral.
Boom. Well, influencers, if you got value out of this one, smash the like button. Let us know in the comments one of your biggest questions or challenges right now when it comes to YouTube, because we would love to follow up in a future video and cover some of those topics. And if you got value, could you hit the like button and spread the word? Maybe let somebody else know about this video. Our question of the day is, what's the title now, maybe with some of these new tips, of your next video upload? Tell us in the comments below. And thanks again for checking out this video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you want to grab our free YouTube checklist for batch production, click or tap the screen right there. And for another video from any video influencers, click or tap the screen right there. And we'll see you in the next one.